Tonight, fight fans, you are in for quite a treat. We will be discussing the upcoming fight on June 7th between Tony Irish Cannon Gallahan versus Stephen the Scottish Assassin McAdams. Tonight, I'm Tucker Taylor. This is Garrett Long, my co-host. Good to be with you, Garrett.
Good to be with you, Tucker.
Yeah, let's just say there's been a lot of trash talk leading up to this fight, and it's still a month and a half away. Tony called Stephen out, asked for the fight. Stephen gladly accepted, but before that, he asked if Tony had actually been thinking about calling him out prior to this. Tony said, yeah, he had. He'd been thinking about a lot. He said he was going to hit Stephen in the face and put him to the ground.
Well, obviously there's going to be bad blood whenever you have a policeman and a firefighter in a fighting situation. And then when you call out the fiancé, it can get even worse. But now Stephen is actually calling out Tony's living arrangements.
Yeah, Tony's living arrangements, it's been a little shaky over the past couple years. He spent 6 months with me. Now he's living with his fiance's parents, living in their basement, living off of their dime. Kind of a shaky situation. But let's cut to the chase. Let's get back to the fight. Tony's record, not impressive.
No.
0-2. He's lost to a much lighter fighter in Alberto Getz. Let's just say his cardio, his gas has been affected.
Right. Well, what we saw was, Beto, we got to hand it to Tony, was a much experienced fighter. However, we learned one thing in those fights, and that is Tony has no cardio.
That is quite true. Tony's cardio is pretty much non-existent. Gassed out, hands on his knees. That's a characteristic you see in all of his fights. But let's go to the next fighter. Steve McAdams, he's had some good finishes, some nasty finishes. He's left his guys looking pretty beat up. What is your take on that, Garrett?
Well, obviously Steven's finished a lot of his opponents, but we have to look at the quality of his opponents as well. In fact, he's been running through these guys. It's a street brawl. Some of these guys actually look like they crashed through the ice with their pickup truck, was what I heard last.
Yeah, Steven, he's got some vicious punching. Like you said, his opponents haven't been the most impressive characters. Let's move on to the next fact, and that is Steven's, let's say he's a little bit of a dirtier fighter. He kind of likes to get into them scraps. His favorite move is some of the stuff that you really know this fighter quite well.
Well, yeah, I've been watching Stephen for a long time, ever since he was a younger child, is like what I like to call him.
Goes way back.
Yes, absolutely. And some of his fighting maneuvers were the shirt pullover and the takedown. He would set up that takedown with the shirt pullover. However, in a boxing situation, you're not going to have the takedown. But I did speak to Tony, and Tony's been gaining some weight around the midsection and is afraid to take his shirt off in front of the audience.
Yeah, so that could mean, ladies and gentlemen, that Stephen might get the opportunity to use his patented shirt pull over the head maneuver and drop some blows into Tony Gallahan's head.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also believe that Stephen's going to attack the midsection of Tony. We know Tony's a very unorthodox, not very prepared fighter going into the ring. I heard rumors, and I know you were there and you can elaborate on this, but I heard that Tony actually threw up hot dogs after his fight.
Yeah, that's quite a funny story there. Let's go into that. I was actually there that night. I had fought earlier. I won my fight, and then I was watching Tony's style, reckless. He went out there throwing constant bombs for 30 seconds. The rest of the night, he was gassed out, hands down on his knees, eating unanswered blows from Beto. He better not pull that stuff in this next fight, because Stephen's definitely got a little more power than Beto. And then after that fight, like you said, the hot dog thing, he came out of the ring, sat down by his mom, and blew chunks. And let's just say there were whole chunks of hot dogs.
Yeah. So he's not even digesting, right, is what you're saying there.
There's something wrong with that body.
So obviously Stephen is going to attack the midsection, and nobody knows the midsection like Sugar Shikey Smalls.
Yeah, our good friend, he's here with us tonight. Let's bring him on.
How's it going, Sugar?
What's up, fellas?
Thank you for being with us, Sugar Shikey Smalls. What's your take on this fight?
This fight's weak, man. Weak. Straight weak.
Your competition, you're 26-0, Golden Gloves. out of Great Falls. You're a spectacular fighter. I've been honored to watch some of your fights. Is there any other comments you have on this?
This fight's weak. I mean, dude fight with his shirt on. You know, he got a police and a fighter. It's like some Disney Channel Justin Bieber believer shit. You know what I'm saying? I got dogs bigger than these guys. Fuck. Fight. Let's go.
Thank you for being with us, Shaky Smalls.
Nobody puts it like Sugar Shaky
He's quite
Smalls.
a character.
You know, another man I would like to bring in here is actually the belt holder of this, per se. He's 2-0. Nobody can strike like this guy. Talon Taylor. Talon, could you come on set?
How's it going, Garrett?
What's going on,
Thank you for
Talon?
being with us, Big T.
That's nice. Where'd you get it?
Oh, Gap.
Nice. You've been hitting the ring any?
Well, my ground game's getting pretty good, yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Grab a seat there, Big T.
You guys see Sugar Shaky around?
Yeah, he was just on set,
Ooh,
actually.
tough
yes.
act to follow.
Yep. So, we got a question. What is your outlook on this fight?
I've been thinking about this fight ever since I heard about it, and I'm just not impressed. I mean, just to see where the main event was 2 years ago and just how far it's fallen when you have to have a guy that blows chunks.
Yeah, that's
It's kind of, I know it. It's funny.
It's a laughing matter.
Yeah, I laugh about it. I mean, it's embarrassing, but thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being with us, Big T.
It's always good to see you, Talon.
So let's get back to this blowing chunks. That was a pretty good, let's say. I actually talked to Steve McAdams shortly, a couple days ago. He said that Tony Gallahan might as well have a bullseye painted on his stomach because he is going to be pounding it. He's going to be hitting it with his right, hitting it with his left, and Tony might as well be expecting to piss blood the next day.
Yeah, well, obviously, Steven's coming in with a very big chip on your shoulder. I mean, obviously, nobody wants to lose to Tony Gallahan. But Tony has the experience, even if he is only 0-2. He's going to have that ring experience, that fight night type experience. But Steven is definitely going for the body. But no matter where this fight goes, you better call the doctor because somebody's going to the hospital.